I'd break it down into two categories. One is your everyday attitude when you're going to practice and thinking about what you're trying to accomplish in practice, what you're trying to accomplish that week, that month, that period of training. That's part of the mental training. And then I say there's more of a specific mental training, which is out of the water, where you're really focusing on the event that is the seminal event of your whatever it is you do. For me, it was swimming, and it was 100 meters or 100 yards of backstroke. And that was kind of the crux of mental training for me, the day in, day out, and then the singular event mental training. And I can, by explanation, one of the things that we used to do in training, out of the water training, we would get into a relaxed mental state where you're relaxing your entire body, and then envision your race. And I would do that pretty much every other day for the whole season leading up to my big event. A funny story about it and how why I'm such an advocate of mental training and specific mental training. My sophomore year in college, I went to Harvard and we raced Princeton. It was the big dual meet of the year, and my coach went around the locker room with all our teammates and said, "Hey, I want you to tell me what your goal is for the Princeton meet. What are you going to do that's special?" Everybody went around the locker room and a lot of cheering, and yeah, we're going to get those guys. And I had thought about it long and hard, and I pulled out a piece of paper, and it had my goal time on it. And it said 100 backstroke, 50 split, 22:79, 100 time, 48:81. And I turned around, I held it up, I said, "Guys, this is what I'm going to go. These are the splits. This is the time." And I smacked it on my locker, and I could hear the snarky comments in the background from my teammates. "Oh, he's not going to do that. He doesn't even train hard." Or, at the time, the American record was about 6/10 slower than my goal time, and so there was a lot of doubt. Well, I would mentally train that race in my head, in my relaxed state, lying on my bed, listening to music in my dorm room, over and over again. And I would think about the smell of the pool. What's the smell of that pool? The chlorine smell that any swimmer can tell you that gives them nerves. The sounds of the water, the sounds of people in the stands, the sounds of the starting gun, those sorts of things. The feeling of going as fast as that time would require me to go. I would mentally train the underwater kicks that I would do, the breakout, the turns, the finish. And every time I would think 22:79 at the 50 mark, 48:81 at the end. So we get to our Princeton swim meet about 3 months later, and the very first event of the meet is the 400 medley relay, and the backstroker leads off the medley relay. So the start of the gun goes off, the start of the race, and it was almost automatic. I didn't even think. I just went. And I wasn't, of course, out of the water listening to what was going on, but I was in the water swimming it. All I knew is I was swimming really fast, and I was going to finish this 100 back as fast as I could. Turns out I turned at the 50 mark at 22:79, and the announcer said 22:70. Holy shit! That's what he said he was going to do, and that's what he said over the loudspeaker. And this is at a swim meet, not something you normally hear. And then I went 48:81 to the 100th at the 100 mark, and to me that was all because of mental training and preparing for that event and specifying about how I was going to do it. So by the time I got to the event, it was automatic, and it just happened.